out there in YouTube land, it's Rob the History Smith back with a new video for you today. I'm going to do a comparison of a new rifle versus an old rifle. The old rifle, most of you will probably be quite familiar with, so let's have a look and see what we're talking about, shall we? Alright. Let's go to the long shot here. Sorry guys, setting up a new camera setup here, so we'll see how things go. So what are we looking at here? This is a very large, long, but could be a lot longer. That little guy there is probably your giveaway. It's what we're looking at. So what are we looking at, right? I have another long shot here. Tip. This camera kind of sucks, so won't be using it for very long. It's just for the long shot. All right, so what are we looking at? Oh, that's my face. Sorry, I'm not used to this. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at a K98 Mauser, World War II. This one here is a Russian capture, so it's fairly marked up with all sorts of pretty little things. So this K98 here is 1939, and it is also very, very mismatched. And if you look here, you can see all little markings. Model 98. Right here is the telltale as to why everything's mismatched. That little mark right there. That's a German capture mark. So this isn't actually the rifle we're going to be talking about today. It functions just like this one. Actually doesn't stick open. It's a like I said, it's a very early model, rare factory. We will look at this in the future, but we're here to look at this guy's little brother. And little brother is a new little, well, little's maybe not the right word, but here we're looking at, it's got the hood, it's got the cleaning rod, it's got the same tangent sights, gets a little funky in the rear end, you got the sling loop, and you got the takedown bolt into stock. You have a much smaller butt cap on this one than the carabiner, or the K98K. This guy here is what the Russians wanted for training, but never really got. Okay, so I have this lined up here, and the reason why you're seeing a difference is because my workshop is not big enough to put the cameras all on one screen. But there's the height difference between the Chinese modern knockoff, tribute, I don't know, the KKW, or the JW15 as Norinco calls it, and here is the end of the actual K98. So moderately shorter, but honestly, in the important parts where it matters, down here in the buttstock area, move that out of the way. Sorry, it's a very cramped spot for working with full-length rifles. Just tilt that. So you can see in the buttstock where it matters, they actually line up almost identical. The triggers, the length of pull, everything is pretty similar. Big difference though is going to be bolt travel. You can see how far that travels. This one here is actually just a 22, and that's the extent of your bolt travel there. So, but that would have been the same with the German KKW. So we'll talk about the KKW a bit. I'm going to throw this German guy in the corner, clear up some space. So KKW, it's Klein Caliber. Oh, that's a hard one to say. Werkzeugwerk. Anyway, small caliber sporting rifle. Sorry, I don't speak German very much. It's been a while. And even then, I didn't speak it well. So, Germany wanted one of these in World War II, and they wanted them for training youth. Makes sense, right? 22 caliber, cheap, inexpensive, even today. So there was a pre-World War II design, but it didn't really match up. It was a collaboration between BSW, I can't think of Mauser and Walthers. So everyone knows Mauser and Walthers. They manufactured the K98, and they manufactured a version of these. I'll show you some photos. But getting onto this is a cool one because this was cheap. This thing I got a few years ago, and I got it off of, well, I got it from Norinco, right? As we all know, the name of the company there. And it's an amazingly accurate rifle. And I'll show you how it functions. I wish you guys can get these in the States. We can't even get them in Canada right now. They haven't made these specific models for a while. The big difference is the magazine. This takes a magazine. Most of these large, well, the KKWs never took magazines. And that was one of the biggest downsides, is they wanted them to be able to have an internal magazine hold 5 rounds, just like the original the original K98, but never happened in World War II. It was too expensive, but somehow China made it happen. Go figure, right? So, 22 round, obviously, dummy, they're bright orange. Yes, I'm calling you a dummy, and I'm calling these dummies too. Using the back, spin the rifle around. So this one here, I've installed, it's a Beeman. It's a BB gun. It's off a BB gun. But you know what? It's 4x32. It's what the Germans would have had. It actually looks surprisingly similar to what you'd see. If you want to see a great sniper movie, obviously everyone should hopefully have seen, if you're watching this, Enemy at the Gates. So, round in, close, snap, round out. Round in, snap, round out. So it doesn't interfere with the scope, and this thing is a tack driver. I mean, if you can't hit what you're aiming at with this, then you're not going to be able to hit it. The bolt comes out the back like so. There's your bolt. It's kind of interesting, this design, as typical with all designs, but I'm going to say in particular with Chinese designs, they borrowed heavily from other companies. Good or bad, I don't care. So this is the, let's go over the details of this. It's the JW25, sorry. I said 15 earlier, I meant JW25. The 15, same action, and it's in a different, more sporting package. So it doesn't have the wooden stock. It doesn't look like a Mauser. It's a 3/4 size clone, and it's pretty darn close, I would say. I wouldn't say it's a clone. The barrel length is 53 centimeters. The total length is 97 centimeters. Weighs 3.4 kilograms. The magazine capacity is 5 rounds. It's a copy of the German G33/40 Gerbesjäger. So K98. It's yeah, that's the KKW. That was in production from 1935 to present. Actually, they're still making those things for training and sporting. So the actual rifle, let's see here, is, sorry guys, just looking at my notes here. So the actual K98 is 3.7 to 4.1 kilograms. There's variations because of manufacturing details, compared to this at 3.4. So this is slightly lighter than the lightest K98, but within a really close range. The overall length is 43 inches, or 1.1 meters, roughly. 111 meters, centimeters. Sorry, 111 meters. That'd be really big. 111 centimeters on the real one, 97 centimeters on the copy here. The original K98 had a at a barrel length of 600 millimeters, and we said this one had a barrel length of 53 centimeters, so 7 centimeters shorter on that guy, which is about it's about 4 inches shorter. This is essentially a copy of the CZ 452. I've never held that rifle, but they're referring to the bolt mechanism more than anything. It's pretty straightforward. It's got double extractors. The ejector's built in. Take the scope off if I want to. The scope actually needs to be zeroed a bit better. So this one has definitely a more modern receiver setup than the K98 would. There's actually a little dovetail under this thing, and this is just a little adapter to put the weaver rail on there. Has let's go to a second shot here. You can actually see straight over the riser here, so you can still use the iron sights, which is nice. Alright, let's have a look at some of the smaller details of this guy and how it actually functions, shall we? So, as we know, bolt action. So, bolt comes back, load the round, lock the chamber, and then you have a safety here. You can see the safety, red for fire. Safe. Fire. Safe. A little easier than the wing safety on an actual K9 or an actual K98. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused. There's so many Ks. Okay. Can't open. Can't pull the trigger, and you can see it's actually camming the striker back a little bit. Easy to put on, easy to take off. Yeah, not much to it. Let's have a look at trigger pull, shall we? Set our trigger pull to 0. Let's see if we can get a close-up of this. Pull, 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 pull. That looks to be about 2.5 pounds to me. Try it again. Went the wrong way. A little under 2.5, 2.25. Let's give it another. And again, just over 2 pounds. So we'll call it 2.25. You take 3, average it out, you got 2.25. The magazine release, if I can get into frame. Right there. Of course, these things aren't designed to come out upside down. Magazine comes out. There you go. Magazine goes back in. Magazine doesn't want to go back in. There we go. Magazine's back in. Going to the tip. We'll give you a long shot for that. You have a threaded kind of cleaning rod. I don't know what to call this. It does have a screw attachment on one end, so you could probably screw something else on there or two of them together and have yourself a full-length cleaning rod. But you can see chambers back. Well, you can't see. Chambers back here. Cleaning rod ends right here. So you would have to take 2 to clean the full length of this. Not a big deal. Like I said, it's a, well, you could definitely survive off of this if you're hunting small game. It's more than accurate enough. 22 long rifle, rabbits, small things like that, you're good. Varmint control, but not in the city. You can't do that in the city. Haven't tried, don't want to. Just goes right back in. So you got side swing swivel, just like K98. You got that there. The bolt takedown on this one, completely unnecessary. Doesn't really do anything. A lot of this stuff is stamped steel, so it's relatively inexpensive to make, but it works incredibly well. That's all I have to say about this rifle. yeah, there's not much to it really. This is the rifle. The one cool thing I do like about these rifles is, if I can figure out where I put it. There you go. It actually fits a proper vintage World War II K98 bayonet, as did the original KKWs. That's one thing that the original training rifle the Germans had didn't do. They didn't fit the bayonets. As to the importance of that, that's questionable, but the reality is it does it, and it does it well. So there you go, guys. It's another video, and back to me. All right, so that's the K98 clone made by Norinco called the JW25. The original one would have been more closer to the KKW. And it's a great rifle. If you can find them, grab them. I got this one a couple years ago when a few of them came into the country. A few being a couple thousand probably. And it was dirt cheap, like $120 or something crazy like that, brand new. And I have zero complaints. Its accuracy is spot on. Handling is spot on. The weight is great. The magazine's a nice touch. This is an amazing rifle for training new people to the sport of shooting and collecting. And if you can get them at a good price, they're worth the money. They've gone up considerably at the moment, and they're going for kind of ridiculous prices in the $600 range. Unless you really want something that looks like a K98, the $600 in my opinion is not worth it. You can get a better 22, more accurate, more ergonomic rifle. But considering I like World War II, a lot of people like World War II, ammunition is expensive. KKW, the original one's very expensive as well. It's a nice little alternative, and keep your eye out, guys. I know a few of them came into the States under a slightly different name, but they are available even in the US on the aftermarket. In Canada, they're only available on the aftermarket. It's yet to be seen whether or not Norinco will be making more of these. I hope they do. It's just, I mean, it's a real wood stock. It's kind of everything you want in an inexpensive training rifle. All right, guys. So hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe, and subscribe. I need subscribers, guys. You've all been amazing, and I know you guys watch the videos, the ones that have subscribed. I'm not going to say religiously because that's a little bit weird, but you're very devoted, and I thank you guys, and keep it up, and I'll keep up making videos. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video, guys.